You're watching Marsha on VeroBuzzTV.com.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Buzz TV. I'm Marsha Littlejohn, and I am here with Bob Solari. And oh boy, when you walk in, I just feel like we're going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay because Bob Solari is Vice Chairman of our Board of County Commissioners, I should say, right here in Indian River County. But you've been on the boards and in politics for how long here?
I've been on the Indian River County Board for 7 years, and I've been in politics in the county for roughly 10 years, Marsha.
Oh boy, but you know what? There's one more thing that he wears, a hat that he wears, and it's called Mr. History, because boy, you know everything. I want to do a show. I want to have a segment where we have you come on. I don't know if you've watched that it's a news station, TV station, but in between, instead of commercials, they have a little bit of history. And I love it. It's All American News, I think, or One American News or something like that. And it's so interesting. We could do that with you.
Oh, that'd be great. There's an awful lot of interesting material to draw from.
Absolutely. Well, one of the interesting things we want to talk about today with Bob Solari, a choo-choo train going right through our little community. Is it going to happen? Everybody says we've got to just give it up. It's going to happen.
Oh, we certainly don't have to give it up. The fight is not even halfway through yet. And All Aboard Florida knows that. And interestingly, I've seen some recent letters to the editors and publications and other things which indicate that they're trying to foster the idea that it's a done deal. But you might remember another done deal in Indian River County, Marsha, the electric deal.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that was a done deal. Every elected official that was running for the county commission, the city council a few years ago said, this is a done deal. And you know, it's not. I'm a City of Vero Beach resident, and I still have those really high City of Vero Beach electric rates. So it's not a done deal.
And you know, this is what I love about Bob Solari, because this is one of those things, you have been there, done that. You have seen it. When did you come to Vero Beach?
In 1980, February of 1980.
Okay, and of course you are married to Jackie Solari.
Jackie Priestley, who'd lived here for 15 years before that.
Absolutely, and her daddy was a swim coach, wasn't he?
Swim coach, history teacher at the Vero Beach High School. Jackie was an All-American swimmer and runner, one of the fastest milers in the country when she was a young woman.
We got to get her on.
Oh, you should. I mean, I think she's a lot more exciting than I am. I mean, she was at the high school before Title IX. So when she ran, she was actually on the boys' running team.
Oh my God!
Because there was no girls' track team at that time.
So now there's a little history right there. Title IX.
It was interesting though, because I heard, reports I got back from when she was on the team was that she actually slowed the boys down because she was a pretty good-looking woman, and they all like to run behind her. So it's amazing how different things can impact something like that.
You're going to catch it from Jackie, when you get home.
Yeah, what she likes to do is wait till I'm in my shorts and slap my thigh to let me know I've been out of here.
I love it. And if you have not met Jackie Solari, you've got to meet her, because really, I mean, it's history. It's all part of our world here. And that's why I think when you open your mouth, Bob Solari, we listen. And that is so important, because when we're going to take a little break in just a moment. But when we come back, I really want to delve into this All Aboard Florida, because people are so gullible. As you say, they read, they hear, they listen, and they think, oh, that must be so. So we're going to take that break and come back with you, Bob Solari. Are you for it or against it?
Oh, I am against All Aboard Florida.
We were even going to call it Against All Aboard Florida from now on. It's not just All Aboard Florida, it's Against All Aboard Florida. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Attention! This important message is for any American who is about to turn 65 years of age or older. Nation's Helpline has Medicare supplement insurance news that may benefit you, your family, or someone you know. Most Americans who are about to turn 65 years old know they need Medicare supplement insurance, even if they already have Medicare. The Nation's Helpline Medicare Supplement Team can guide you and help answer your Medicare questions. Call today.
Please call 800-632-2804.
Stop by Patty's Printing and Graphics in downtown Vero Beach. Owner Patty Callahan prints it all, from color and black and white copies to blueprints, banners, signs, prints of paintings, and fine art. Patty makes restorations and creates outstanding graphic designs. Call Patty at 770-1521 or stop by Patty's Printing and Graphics at 2345 14th Avenue. Stop by for all of your printing needs at Patty's Printing and Graphics, across from the old railroad station in downtown Vero Beach.
And we are back, as promised, with Bob Solari. He's Vice Chairman, if you're just tuning in, of our Board of County Commissioners here in Indian River County. But you, as we said earlier, you have been there, you've seen it, you've done it, and you have really delved into so much of the backstory of what is going on with our All Aboard Florida. So just before we wrap it up and start talking about solid waste, I want to talk to you a little bit more about this All Aboard, against All Aboard Florida. How could they even think that we would be supportive of a train coming through, how many of them?
Through 7 counties.
Well, through Vero Beach.
But through the at-grade crossings, you mean?
Yes.
13 at-grade crossings in Vero Beach. I think there are 30 in the county.
30. And how many trains a day?
There be 32 passenger trains a day, the high-speed trains a day, but there are right now probably about 8 to 10 freight trains, and according to what we read, that number will double or triple. So we could be having between 50 and 70 trains passing through our community a day within 3 or 4 years.
All right, but the ones that are going fast and going right through Vero Beach do not have passengers, is that correct?
No, the ones...
They have passengers, but they're not stopping.
They don't have stops.
They're not picking up any passengers.
But, and they don't have stops because high-speed rail, the fact is, against All Aboard Florida is not going to work. I mean, let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
I mean, there is high-speed rail throughout the world.
Right.
And aside from a line in Tokyo and in France, every high-speed rail line is subsidized. But despite that, Reason Magazine did a study which indicated that there are certain criteria which will at least limit the subsidy. And included in that is density. How dense is the population of the communities? Connectivity? Is there a mass transit system, a subway system like in New York, which delivers the passage there? The car culture? High-speed rail does not work in countries like America where the car culture is so strong. At-grade crossings. If you go to the Shinkansen line in Tokyo and ride down to Osaka, you will not go through one at-grade crossing.
What is an at-grade?
That's where you have an opportunity for something bad to happen.
Oh, okay.
For the train and the car to cross at the same time, or the train and the school board to cross, or the train or the gasoline tanker to cross. So where something bad could happen. And there are 352 at-grade crossings on this line. And if you do the math, 32 trains times 352 times 365 days a year,
whoa,
you have 4 1 in a million chances of something bad happening every year. So it's not a matter of if something bad is going to happen. Unfortunately, we still live in an imperfect world. We build things that are not quite perfect. Accidents happen. And they can use their best efforts to prevent something from happening, but reality says that something bad will happen. One of the little tidbits that I'd like to mention is that, in just something I read, the Shinkansen line doesn't run their high-speed rail trains at night. That's when they do their track maintenance. Well, in this line, they're going to run the freight at night. So my question is, which hasn't been answered yet, is when are they going to do their daily operational maintenance?
Oh, absolutely. You see, this is what's so great about Bob Solari, because he asks those questions. But my thought, and I say this all the time when we watch the news all over the world, if we know it, why aren't we doing something about it?
Well, we are, but one of the things in this thing we have to keep in mind is that the Treasure Coast, which is going to have the burden of this project, consists of about 600,000 people. The areas in Orlando to the South Florida that want it because of the economic stimulation it might bring them has 8 million people. So the politics, the weight of numbers works against us, Marshall.
Oh boy. I think we're about out of time on this segment. We're going to wrap it up and come back in 60 seconds and continue our talk with Bob Solari, and we're going to be talking about solid waste change. We'll be right back.
Now that health reform is law, you cannot be denied health insurance coverage, but you can pay too much.
As a single mom, I was convinced that we could not afford health insurance until I spoke to the people from ICANN, who told me that I qualified for a special enrollment and a subsidized rate. Now I get so much more for so much less.
Call now and get the ICANN mobile app free. So don't wait another minute. Call ICANN, get covered, save money.
The Furniture Man is a locally owned business that has served the needs of the community of Vero Beach and Indian River County for over 30 years. Here at the Furniture Man, we offer fine pieces to furnish each and every room of your home. Specializing in Floridian style, come browse our selection of bedroom, dining room, patio, and living room. Come explore over 10,000 square feet of showroom where you can find mattresses, recliners, sofas, dining, and more. Visit us at 673 US 1 in Vero Beach, Monday through Saturday for all of your furniture needs.
Well, as promised, we are indeed back with Bob Solari, and we're going to wrap up. We're going to talk about this frequently, though, Bob Solari, about our All Aboard Florida, and have you come on and talk about it. And if anybody wants you to come and talk to their groups, are you available?
I've talked to before a number of groups on All Aboard Florida. If my schedule permits, I'm more than happy to discuss this very important subject, because again,
Fabulous.
it's difficult to get everybody the same information and the correct information, and I benefit from talking with the citizens about it and getting their input.
Sure,
so I love
absolutely.
to go before them.
Well, we're going to continue this as well, but I do want to talk about another subject, and you have it down here as well. County solid waste changes. Boy, oh boy, we're getting the big one?
Well, wow, there are lots of changes. We'll just begin and start with that. And this is interesting for me. I mean, I spent a lot of time on All Aboard Florida or against All Aboard Florida, but I got elected to do things like solid waste, which is actually the type of thing I like to spend my time on. And the solid waste changes that we're going to talk about were driven basically by a state requirement that the county, by the year 2020, recycle 75% of the total trash that's collected in the county. And while we've been working on recycling for a number of years, we were stuck more in the 37% range and just hadn't been able to move the ball forward.
Now, is that because people were not recycling? They were not following the...
A lot of people were recycling, but you have a lot of communities, especially apartment complexes or condos, or places where there are three or four stories, and
they're not going to come down every morning and put something.
And they're part-timers, so they live there during the season, and then you have businesses which aren't as recycle oriented as we'd like them to be. So there's a whole groups that aren't really participating. And with different types of recycling, there are more things you can put in the bins. So one of the things we're doing, one of the changes, is single stream recycling. We now have dual stream recycling, the two bins that we can put out, one with newspapers and paper, the other with basically glass, bottles, cans. Well, we're moving to what you were referring to as the big bins, which is single stream recycling. And before people get all upset, you'll have three choices of bins over the time period: large, medium, and small. And what that does is allows you to open the top, toss in your newspapers, your plastics, your glasses, almost everything, and more things that are now recycled into that bin.
And magazines.
Oh, absolutely, magazines. I mean, I throw away a lot of newspapers and magazines, and luckily we're going to, on the bin, when you open it up, you're going to see a list of everything you can recycle. So that will be helpful. And I mean, for myself, I'm a little anal about recycling, and I decided I'd have a little contest with myself at the beginning of the year. We have a small trash can for trash, and I decided I'd see if I can make it through the year with less than 12 pickups. And after 8 months, this is the 9th month, we've put out about 7 trash cans full of, well, and the trash cans haven't always been full. But among the changes will be the single stream recycling, the big bins, once a week pickup. If we're actually going to recycle 75% of our total trash, there's no reason for more than one pickup a week.
That's great. Because even though, as you say, the size of the bin, and if you start out with a big size, you decide that you don't really need that, you don't have the room in your garage, it's inconvenient, you can have a choice of another one.
Anytime within the first 3 months, you can have a one-time free exchange.
Oh, boy. I think it's going to be great, and I think it's also going to be great because we're not going to have that great, big, huge blue truck going down our
It's one less time. It's great. There are a lot of ancillary benefits, which I understand it'll be a little difficult for people to adjust.
Change, as you know, change.
There's always I mean, when I ran for the county commission, it was really tough to put on its high, but I was able to make that change.
Well, that's our own Bob Solari. Got to wrap this up, and of course, we're going to get him back as we're going to talk about budgets. And oh boy, that's coming up on the 17th of the month.
17th. We hope that a lot of people come and visit us at the county chambers.
County chambers, go in there and go to some of those meetings. They're really great. Bob Solari, thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
And we hope you enjoyed this particular show and part of Marsha. You're watching Buzz TV. We'll be right back.
See Arts in Depth with Barbara Hoffman, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 and 10 p.m. Watch Chamber Buzz at 6 and 10 p.m. Mondays and Wednesdays on VeroBuzzTV.com. Advertise your business on Buzz TV. Email buzztvnetwork@gmail.com or call 772-777-1382.
Hello, everyone. Yes, indeed, we are still here. Buzz TV. I'm Marcia Littlejohn, and oh my goodness, oh, Janet Winikoff of Humane Society. Oh, I want to take this kitty cat home because you know why?
We can make that happen. Why?
Because she reminds me of Essie Mae.
I know your kitty who you love so much.
Essie Mae that we adopted from the Humane Shelter, and of course just fell in love with her as well. And oh my golly, what is this one's name?
You have Juby.
Juby. Oh, and
for jubilation or
Oh, sure,
Jubilee.
yeah.
And I have Sari, which is short for serendipity.
Look
and
at this.
they were both named by Vera Buzz TV staff member Holly.
All right, and she has Miss Boo, so
Yeah.
she loves kitty cats too. But now I read someplace where there were 120 kitty cats dropped off at some place. What about kitty cats at the Humane Society? What does it take to adopt Juby
and Sari. Right.
Where did she come up with Juby?
Jubilation. She had,
Jubilation,
they're
yes.
named in honor of her cats.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
So how do I get this one?
Okay, so
I'm
it's
not gonna. You are going to adopt this one, Juby.
easy enough. So what we ask is that families come into the shelter and that they meet the kitties who are available for adoption. Again, we also have, of course, have dogs. We have rabbits. Right now we have 42 birds, parakeets, who just came in, which we can talk about also. We have horses available for adoption, ferrets, rabbits, etc. So people come in, they meet with the animals who they're interested in adopting. We ask that they fill out a survey form so that we can learn more about what their interests are in terms of a pet and what their lifestyle is like. And then we have the adoption counselor sit down and talk with the family. That way it's a family decision.
Now you do all this even with kitty cats?
Absolutely, yeah, you know.
Because one of the things that I love is you brought both of these kitty cats in one little carrier.
One little carrier, yeah.
And they loved each other. What a great way to start off. And you never worry then when you go away thinking, oh, your kitty cat's going to be lonely.
Right. And you know
You
that
adopt both of them.
the thing is also that we like when the family comes in rather than having animals given as a gift, because you are basically taking in an animal who's going to become a family member
Absolutely.
to you.
In fact, I read something and they were calling the doggy a sibling.
A sibling, right, yes. and we have to remember also that the lifespan now of cats, thanks to excellent veterinary care and improvements in veterinary medicine, now the average lifespan for a cat is 15 to 20 years of age.
Oh, yes.
So, you know, you have to think to yourself, I'm going to have this animal as part of my family for the next 15 to 20 years. You want to make certain that everybody is on board with that in your home.
Oh my goodness, yes. And of course they'd be so much happier if there were two together. The two of them. But now they came from different, look at that beautiful coloring. Oh. So now we only have about 30 seconds. So on this particular segment, if somebody wanted to adopt them, like right now, call the Humane Society?
I would say come to the Humane Society. We're at 6230 77th Street in Vero Beach. Also, they can check out our website, hsvb.org, or yes, call us at 772-388-3331, extension 110.
Oh boy, we're going to be right back in just a moment. In the meantime, I am so impressed with this little kitty cat and that one too. Their temperaments are just so wonderful and so happy. Look, this one's even going to go to sleep, I think. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Stop by Patty's Printing and Graphics in downtown Vero Beach. Owner Patty Callahan prints it all, from color and black and white copies to blueprints, banners, signs, prints of paintings, and fine art. Patty makes restorations and creates outstanding graphic designs. Call Patty at 770-1521 or stop by Patty's Printing and Graphics at 2345 14th Avenue. Stop by for all of your printing needs at Patty's Printing and Graphics across from the old railroad station in downtown Vero Beach.
Now that health reform is law, you cannot be denied health insurance coverage, but you can pay too much.
As a single mom, I was convinced that we could not afford health insurance until I spoke to the people from ICANN, who told me that I qualified for a special enrollment and a subsidized rate. Now I get so much more for so much less.
Call now and get the ICANN mobile app free. So don't wait another minute. Call ICANN, get covered, save money.
And we are back indeed. And oh, I think Juby
and Sari.
Juby and Siri
Yeah.
were just as quiet and really kind of very at home,
Relaxed.
and happy. Whoops! Now he's going to jump. Is it a girl?
She,
or a boy?
both girls.
Both little girls.
Uh-huh.
I always think kitty cats are girls and dogs.
And also, we have lots of kittens who are available for adoption at the shelter.
Oh,
So,
great. Yeah. And what about volunteers? Do you need volunteers at the shelter?
Absolutely. Besides volunteers at the shelter, what we also need are foster volunteers. Now, Juby and Sari, they were fostered by a staff member, so she had them in their home, in her home for about 4 weeks, because they were so little that they needed that care.
Mm-hmm.
So a foster volunteer can take these animals home and give them a great start in life,
Sure.
and also free up space at the shelter so that our staff can work on helping to get animals adopted.
But do you find that those volunteers that take them home just have a really hard time giving them back?
It does happen, and we're okay with that. Sometimes that's
loving
part of
home.
it. So yeah, we need foster volunteers not just for the little ones like Juby and Sari, but also for some of the older animals. Sometimes they do better in a home setting, so they're more relaxed, and it's easier for them to kind of.
Well, how would someone become a volunteer?
Easy enough. So somebody just needs to contact the shelter at 772-388-3331. Ask about our volunteer program
Look
and
it
let
up.
them know.
Humane Society.
There you
That's-
go. And let them know that you want to volunteer. Whether at the shelter or foster volunteer, we definitely need you.
But look at this precious. Oh my goodness. And the two of them together, and yet they're not siblings, are they?
Yes, they are
Oh, they
siblings.
are.
Yes. Uh-huh.
But the coloring is so different.
Yeah, that happens.
Yes,
yeah.
it does. Absolutely. But you have more than cats. You said you have just about everything there.
Right. And right now, actually, I do want to do a little bit of a push regarding our parakeets.
Good, yes.
Somebody turned in 42 parakeets. They came from one home.
32?
42.
42 parakeets.
42 parakeets. So
Boy,
we
that
had
was a noisy home. wasn't it?
Yes. So, I think it's really a situation that we sometimes encounter where somebody has more animals than they can reasonably care for. So the person did the right thing by bringing the animals in and saying, listen, I can't take care of these animals. We need to find, could you please help us find a home for them? So we have these parakeets available for adoption, and just like the dogs and the cats, the parakeets, we ask that you bring the family in, that you fill out the adoption form, and you speak with a counselor so that we make sure that you know what the
All right,
animal's
now,
needs are.
I have to ask you, because the kitty cats all have they're neutered,
Yes.
they have their shots and everything when you come in and purchase.
And you adopt, right?
adopt
Pay
one
that
of the-
adoption fee.
One of the animals. What about parakeets? I mean, what do you do with parakeets?
They do get medical care, but yeah, they wouldn't be spayed or neutered. But you do bring up.
Somebody having 32 of them. It's too bad we can't.
Well, they needed to separate the boys from the girls, for sure.
okay.
So the thing, though, that you bring up is an excellent point, though, is that with our dogs and cats, everybody gets spayed and neutered before they leave. They're microchipped, they're vaccinated, they're dewormed.
All the animals, not the volunteers.
Right.
The animals.
And they can do that as early, the spaying and neutering, as early as 8 weeks and 2 pounds.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And really, I think what you're learning now, too, is that if you have any questions about your animals, call the Humane Society. There's somebody there that's always an expert. I love it because every time Ann Cahill comes in, I say, remember, she's a retired attorney. So-
Right.
But we're going to come right back and wrap this up with our very distinguished guest, none other than Janet Winikoff. She is the Director of Education of our Humane Society here. So don't go away. We'll be right back with Juby and Siri.
The Furniture Man is a locally owned business that has served the needs of the community of Vero Beach and Indian River County for over 30 years. Here at the Furniture Man, we offer fine pieces to furnish each and every room of your home. Specializing in Floridian style, come browse our selection of bedroom, dining room, patio, and living room. Come explore over 10,000 square feet of showroom, where you can find mattresses, recliners, sofas, dining, and more. Visit us at 673 US 1 in Vero Beach, Monday through Saturday, for all of your furniture needs.
Attention! This important message is for any American who's about to turn 65 years of age or older. Nation's Helpline has Medicare supplement insurance news that may benefit you, your family, or someone you know. Most Americans who are about to turn 65 years old know they need Medicare supplement insurance, even if they already have Medicare. The Nation's Helpline Medicare Supplement Team can guide you and help answer your Medicare questions. Call today.
Please call 800-632-2804.
And we are back as promised, and I'm here with Janet Winikoff. She has stayed with us with these two precious little kitty cats that are up for adoption. And once again, the spay and the neuter.
Yes, you can now do that. They found out from research that you can do it safely as early as 8 weeks of age, and the animal has to be about 2 pounds. So that's something that we advocate for at the Humane Society. It's something called early age spay neuter. So
This little
it
kitty cat's
really
not gonna be
helps.
2 pounds. Is she at, what is it? What did you say, 8 weeks?
She's they're just about 8 weeks, maybe a little bit younger, but
She's
yeah.
probably about 2 ounces.
Oh yeah, well when she hits 2 pounds, then she'll be ready to be spayed.
Oh, and she is just so adorable, and they are up for adoption. But now I want to talk about this Colors for Fall.
Flavors of fall.
Flavors of fall.
Yes. So our 2 thrift shops, they do so much for the shelter in terms of raising funds to help the animals, not just at the Humane Society, but throughout Indian River County. And they are going to be putting on something on September 14th, and it's the Flavors of Fall. So it's going to be where they're going to be bringing out all of their autumn wear. That's when they're going to be debuting it. It will be out starting on September 14th.
Why does she went down now?
I think she just is moving around. She wants you to pet her some more.
Well, I keep thinking maybe she needs to piddle.
I don't think so, but yeah.
Okay, maybe
I
she
guess we'll
wants to
find
see-
out.
Yeah. Well, Flavors
But
of Fall. I had to
Flavors
know
of Fall, yes. So starting on September 14th, we will have all of our fall wear out at both of our thrift shops. So we hope people will come on over to our
Where
thrift
are your
shops.
thrift shops?
We
Great.
have one that's on Route 60 and 43rd Avenue, right there in Vero Beach, and we have another one at 441 Sebastian Boulevard. It's 512 in Sebastian. So come on out and see all the great fall wear that we have. That's clothing, holiday costumes, Halloween.
Oh, yes,
You need
yes.
Halloween's right around the corner. So if you're looking for housewares for Thanksgiving, we're going to have all of that out.
Oh, that is terrific. And in the meantime, you're really helping. Look at these 2 precious kitty cats. They love each other, don't they? And they are siblings, so
Yes,
they
they're
know each
sisters.
other.
Yes.
They're little sisters. And they're up for adoption. You need to get both of them. And as I was saying, even to our own Alex here, that really, if all you need is to have a litter box, with cat litter in it, and you don't have to worry, and you just clean it every day, and have or have your neighbor come over, as I do, and Rita will come over when we're traveling, and then they love each other, and they're so easy to take care of.
They are. Cats make wonderful, wonderful companions. And, it's always great to have toys for them. And, of course,
yes.
other cats
and
are
you have
great.
so many cute toys, too.
Yeah.
That's the other thing, too. So don't forget, we've got the date of the Flavors for
Flavors
Fall.
of Fall, right. It debuts on September 14th, but all of the wares for fall are going to be out starting on that date. So if you can't make it on that date, come on out afterwards.
Oh, terrific. Okay, and so don't forget, just Google it. Google Indian River County. It's Indian River.
HSVB.org. So just think Humane Society Vero Beach.
All right, and come home with I want to find out who adopts these 2. Look at them. Oh, you have to have these 2 precious kitty cats. Well, we hope you enjoyed this particular edition of Marsha. We will be back, maybe in a couple of hours. Don't go away.
Watch Chamber Buzz at 6 and 10 p.m. Mondays and Wednesdays on VeroBuzzTV.com. Freddie Wilfrick and Gregory Simpson invite you to Spotlight Indian River weeknights at 6:30 and 10:30.